What's going on with you guys? Back at you guys with another presentation. In this presentation, guys, I'm doing a follow up to a presentation that I was talking about before. Um, Women going 50-50 with you um, in today's time. A lot of women, especially nowadays, um, they don't believe in going 50-50 with a man unless you're a dude that they feel is very attractive. And one thing I've noticed with women when it comes to male attraction, women have real unrealistic expectations when it comes to male attraction because I say this because a lot of women, when it comes to a man being attractive, it's like they have really, really high standards when it comes to what they find attractive in men. I noticed that about women. Like the standards are just extremely unrealistic. Like your average dude does not look like a model, you know? But I had to a lot of guys walk around thinking that they're unattractive when in fact the only issue is these women, when it comes to men that they're sexually attracted to, they have unrealistic expectations in what turns them on. Like women, like men, we have more realistic expectations when it comes to what turns us on physically when it comes to a woman. But women, if you don't look like some doggone Ralph Lauren model, they're not attracted. And that just go to show you how unrealistic the female mind is, because relationships back in the day used to be 50-50. Women used to believe in working with a man to have something. Nowadays, these women out here, they feel that you should be able to do it all. And I tell myself every day, the main reason why I want to be a millionaire is so I can give a woman the world. Because I'm the type of dude that'll pay a woman mortgage. I'm the type of dude that'll take care of her kids. I'm the type of dude that's going to buy the kids back to school clothing. All of those things, guys. And for the record, I want to say to all the men out there, to all the pussyless men, being a simp is nothing wrong with it. My father talks to me about, is something wrong with being a simp? No, it's not. You know, when it come to busting nuts, when it come to blowing loads off, you got to do what you got to do to get the nuts. You know, so there's nothing wrong with a man being a simp. I want to clear that out because a lot of guys speak against simping. A lot of guys speak against buying women expensive gifts, paying women bills, giving women money. See, I'm the type of dude, if I was loaded with money, I'd give a woman 60K just to give it to her, just out of the kindness of my God-given heart. Because I'm the type of man that will give a woman the world. You know, we could be on a yacht somewhere in St. Bartholomew. St. Bartholomew. Say it with me. St. Bartholomew. Drinking cognac out of some Baccarat glasses, watching the sunset over the Caspian Sea. But, you know, you get what I'm saying. The Caspian Sea, that's in the Middle East. But St. Barth's is a beautiful island in the Caribbean. And I want big money so I can give a woman the world. Because I'm not a mean type of dude. And that could be a big reason to why I've struggled when it comes to women. But I'm not a mean type of dude. I mean, anybody can get upset if you tick them off. But by nature, I'm not a mean, aggressive type of dude. That's just not the way Jehovah Ishinawa made me. Jehovah Ishinawa didn't make me that way. You know? And all I'm saying, guys, don't think that being a simp is wrong, because there's nothing wrong with being a simp. I know a lot of dating coaches and PUAs speak against this, but it's nothing wrong with being a simp. When it comes to women, they just have unrealistic expectations nowadays. A lot of women want the cream of the crop. They want dudes who look like models. They want dudes who have lots of money, dudes who have, big clout. They want dudes who have big clout, all of that, guys. And I just feel that women's standards and what they feel is attractive when it comes to men is just unrealistic. Because, like I say, I never felt that I was a terrible looking guy. But these women nowadays, their standards are just unrealistic. And if hopping on a dating site, because my dad tries to make it seem like you could just hop on a dating site and just meet a woman at the drop of a dime. If it was so easy to just hop on a dating site and meet a woman at the drop of a dime, how come you got men out here that can't get any vagina? How come you got grown men who don't have nobody? And I want to clear for the record, I've been on a couple of dates with females before, but I've never been able to establish a real long-term relationship. You know, I just never been able to get there. Far as like being able to kiss a woman, hold hands, eating ice cream with a woman, or eating some Italian ice with a woman. A lot of guys can't even get to that level with a woman. You know, a lot of dudes can't even get a walk in the park holding hands, eating a gelato ice cream cone with a woman, because women's standards are just unrealistic nowadays. And if it was that easy to hop on a dating site and meet a woman, then you wouldn't have involuntarily, you wouldn't have men who are just not able to get none. You wouldn't have involuntarily men out here, men who are sexless, who can't get no box. You wouldn't have guys like that if it was just that easy. Because these women, if they believed in working with a man where he was at, you see a dude has drive, you see a dude has ambition. If women was willing to work with a guy where he is and build from the ground up with that dude, then you wouldn't have dudes who are sexless out here. You wouldn't have dudes who are vaginaless out here. But a lot of women, they don't want a dude who has a regular 9-to-5. They don't want a dude who's trying to work to a certain pinnacle in life. They want a dude who's already reached a certain pinnacle in life. And that is the problem out here, guys. That is the problem. That's the issue. These women want a dude who's already on a certain level in life. And I just feel like if women were more humble and if they were willing to meet a man where he is, you see a dude has ambition. You see a dude will work. You see a dude has drive. Work with him to have something. But a lot of women don't want to do that. They want you to already have it. And a lot of women are not willing to make special accommodations for men that they're not sexually attracted to. I've learned that too about women. If it's a guy that a woman is sexually attracted to, they will make special accommodations for this dude. Meaning they'll let him live in the house, they'll buy him clothes, they'll give him money, they'll take this sorry bum out to eat. I went to Rummy's Kitchen today. There are dudes out there, if a woman is sexually attracted to them, the woman will take them out to eat and pay their way. There are men who got it like that. And guys who got it like that, a lot of these dudes, they know that they can pull with ease. So they don't need money. That's why dudes who are at the top of the hierarchy, these top of the hierarchy guys, these dudes that resemble models, a lot of these dudes don't value money and material possessions because they can pull women without it. You take a dude like Jeremy Meeks. He don't value money and material possessions. That's just extra credentials on his resume. He don't value that because he can pull without it. And that's why a lot of guys who are at the top of the hierarchy, these men that women find attractive, the reason to why these dudes are cocky and why they don't value money and material possessions, because they can pull women without it. That's why they don't value money. They don't value designer clothes because they can pull women without that stuff. But the problem is not men simping on women. The problem is women's unrealistic expectations. If women were more humble in what they find physically attractive, you wouldn't have sexless men out here. But a lot of these women, they just have real far-fetched, unrealistic standards when it comes to what they're attracted to in a man. Most men don't look like models. They don't. Most men don't look like they could model for Loro Piana or Salvatore Ferragamo. Most men don't look like that. But that just go to show you the unrealistic expectations of women. Standards are just through the roof. And if a man, I just want to say this, if a man is sexless and he hasn't had a lot of experience with women, it's not his fault. It's these women's standards. Because you got dudes out here who've tried to pursue women. They've been on dates with females, but they could not make it to the next level with females. I've been on a couple of dates with females, but I've never been able to get a real relationship, you know? And I can't speak for other ethnic groups, but I can speak for my culture. In the urban culture, as a brother, if you're not a thug, you're going to suffer when it comes to getting sex. Because sisters, when it comes to the brothers that they want to give the vagina to, I experienced it firsthand when I was 19. The first chick I went on a date with name was Salacia. She told me I was soft because I wasn't no gangster. See, in the urban culture, in our community, it's all about being a thug. That's the definition of manhood for a brother, being a gangster, walking around with that iron, you know, being a head buster. That's the standard of manhood in our culture. That doesn't apply to these other nationalities, these other ethnic groups of people. But I truly believe that's why a lot of us brothers have suffered too. Because there is no diversity in our community. It's either you a thug or you a nerd. Because we all know sisters like thugs. They like head busters, dudes who in and out of prison. You know, they like those types of guys. So as a brother, if you're not a street dude, that's going to hurt your chances of getting vagina. And I believe that's why I haven't had a lot of success with women, because of the culture. And it's a lot of brothers, I believe, if they were a part of another nationality, not saying they would have been quote unquote ladies' men, but they more than likely wouldn't have had it as bad. The struggle wouldn't have been as real as it's been. But overall, and this goes beyond racial lines, women today are just too doggone shallow, guys. They're just too superficial. And their standards are just unrealistic. A lot of women nowadays, if you're not on a certain pinnacle of life, if you don't have a certain amount of money, if you don't look a certain way, they're not going to fool with you. And the sad part is, with these women, this is how cold these women are. If you don't meet their looks expectations, they demand you have more. So they're not going to work with you 50-50. That's the sad part about it all. If you don't look all that good to them, they're not going to work 50-50 with you. You're not getting a 50-50 relationship. A woman will do it all for a dude that she's attracted to. But this go to show you the cold nature of women. A woman will give it all to a man that she's attracted to. Let him stay in her home, do the whole nine for this guy. But let it be a dude who's ambitious, who work a 9 to 5, but she don't find him all that attractive. She'll demand that he do it all. She won't even be willing to help him and work with him halfway. And she see how hard of a worker he is. That just go to show you the cold nature of these women. A woman won't even work with an ambitious guy that she's not physically attracted to, but she'll give the world to a bum that she is attracted to. She'll give the world to somebody like Pookie, because that's who she finds attractive. She'll give the world to somebody that she finds very attractive. He ain't got to do nothing. He ain't got to pay for no bills. He ain't got to pay for no dinners. He ain't got to do none of that because she's attracted to him. So she'll give it all to him free. And that is why a lot of guys are sexless nowadays, because these women, their standards are just too high. Because a lot of the dudes that women deem as unattractive, I wouldn't even say that these dudes these dudes don't look like no monsters. A lot of the dudes that women deem as unattractive, a lot of the dudes don't even look like no monster. I'm sure a lot of the guys that these women feel is unattractive, I'm willing to bet money a lot of these dudes don't even think they look like a monster. More than likely, they don't even think they look like a monster. But these women, their standards are just so unrealistic. But you guys make sure you comment. Let me know what you think about this. What do you think about as far as women working 50-50 with a man? Because they used to do it back in the day. But nowadays, they just not willing to do it. And the cheat code is to be a dude that they feel is very attractive. If you one of those model type of dudes that I described, you don't even got to worry about going 50-50 with a woman. A woman will give you the world, and you don't have to contribute anything. And that is why those type of dudes, those men who are at the top of the hierarchy, those type of guys, they don't value money and material possessions because they got women giving them the world, and they don't have nothing to offer. That says a lot. When you a man that can have a woman giving you the world and you don't have a pot to piss out of, that's why a lot of those types of men don't even value women. Because they getting everything on a silver platter without having nothing. That's the cheat code. If you a man that women feel is attractive, you ain't got to have nothing. You ain't got to have nothing. And I know some women will come on this presentation and co-sign all the realness that I'm spitting in this presentation. Because I'm dropping words of gold right now. Women demand that a man that they're not physically attracted to have it all. But that bad boy that they feel is attractive, he ain't got to have nothing. He ain't got to have nothing. Because, see, a lot of us thought we got to trick off on women. We thought we got to have, a Mercedes. We thought we got to take women on expensive vacations, expensive dinners. We thought we got to do all this for a woman. But dudes that women feel is attractive, they ain't got to have none of that. They can pull without it. And that's why those types of men don't value money and material possessions. But I feel personally a woman should work with a man 50-50, especially if he's a productive man and he goes after what he wants and he's productive. But that just go to show you that women value looks over productivity, because there are plenty of men who go to work every day, will make a great husband, will make great fathers, but a woman won't give them the time of day because she feels, oh, he's not all that attractive. Because I always wanted a woman to work 50-50 with me. But women don't believe in doing that, especially not nowadays. But we know what the cheat code is. Be a dude that they feel is attractive. That's the cheat code. The cheat code for a woman to work 50-50 with you, because see, 50 plus 50, that's 100. See, if you're a man that women feel is attractive, you'll get the whole 100%. And that's what I'm realizing. The key to a woman working 50-50 with you, and someone left a comment on my presentation. They left a comment, but it's registering now. It's really sinking and marinating into my dome. The key to getting a woman to work 50-50 with you as a man, you got to be physically attractive to her. That is the key right there. In order for a woman to work 50-50 with you as a man, they got to find you attractive. And the real reason why women are not willing nowadays, because see, women were more humble back in the old days. I truly believe so. They didn't have all these wicked spirits that's inside of them. I truly believe it's a different breed of women nowadays. That's why they're so cutthroat. Can I get a witness? Because I believe women back in the old days, it didn't matter if a dude was all that physically attractive. Long as he looked decent and he had something going for himself, the woman was willing to work with that man 50-50. But nowadays, the game done switched up. It done switched up. The game has totally switched up. if you a dude that they not attracted to, these women are not going to work with you 50-50. You got to have it all. You got to have it all if they not attracted to you. That's how these women are. You got to have the whole shebang bang, the whole socceroonie. You got to have it all if they not attracted to you. And I think that's sad. But that's the game. That is the game, guys. It's rough out here, guys. Woo, it's rough out here. These women ain't playing nowadays, man. It is rough. These women are just cutthroat nowadays. Gotta be on the level of a Chris Brown or one of these Roberto Cavalli models in order for a woman to want to work with you 50-50. If you ain't a man they attracted to, you're not getting a 50-50 relationship. You're going to have to do the whole 100. You're going to have to do everything. But see, I'm the type of dude, if I was loaded with money, I'd do it all for a woman and then some. A woman would, I'd give a woman the world if I had big money. If I was a millionaire, I'd give a woman the whole 100. That's the type of man I am, because I realize it ain't nothing wrong with simping. And as a man, you got to do what you got to do to get that nut off. That's what it's all about, getting the box at the end of the day. That's the goal for a man. That's real manhood, one-on-one. Getting the box. I'm the type of dude, if I was a millionaire, just how a woman will do it all for a man that she's attracted to, I'm the type of guy, if I was on a certain financial level, I'd give a woman the world. I put a Tiffany & Co. ring on her finger. We'll take a trip overseas, maybe to France, maybe to Guatemala somewhere. I give a woman the world because I want that. I want that connection. You know, camera about to tilt over. I just want that box. I want to blast off like the 4th of July. That's why I'm the type of man, and I hope some 304s is tuning in. I'm the type of man that want that bag so I can give a woman the world. Because I see some dime pieces out there. Them fat drums, them big buns. I do it all to get some of that. If I was on a certain financial level, that's why I say I'm the type of man that'll give a woman the world. Chanel, Prada, Louis, Goyard, Hermano, Cervino, Escada, Prada, Louis Vuitton. You name it. I give a woman the world. That's why I want to be a millionaire. But you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you think about 50-50 relationships. Because guys like us that women are not checking for, like that, dudes who are not at the top of the hierarchy, we going to have to do the whole 100. We going to have to do the whole 100 for these women. And I see that. If you're not a man that they attracted to like that, yeah, you're going to have to do that whole 100. But that's all I got to say, guys. It's sad that you got to be a man that a woman is attracted to in order for her to go 50-50 with you. Man, that's a cold, brutal truth. But you guys have a good evening.